Today guys, we are checking out some gameplay, and we're checking out some gameplay of this sucker right here. In fact, well, actually two of them put together, our budget black deck for set 2. If you guys do enjoy the gameplay, you want to see a deck profile, stay tuned to the channel. There should be one coming in the next couple of days. And if you do also want to win one of these for yourself, check out the video where we open up one of these and review all the cards, because in that video is your chance to win one of these for yourself. But enough jibber jabbering, let's get right into the gameplay. If you do like the video, like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comment section below what you think of this deck and how it plays out. We are definitely liking black in the new set, so there's going to be a few more black related videos coming out very shortly as well. But thank you so much for checking out the video and enjoy the gameplay. Alright, we're jumping into some gameplay of the Sakazuki 2 starter deck build. And we're going up against one of the most popular decks coming into set 2, which is Edward Newgate, Whitebeard himself. So our opponent is going first. He chooses just to play out the Tony Joey Chopper, nice little blocker. And then it's over to us. We don't have much going on here with what we can do in our hands, so we're just passing over. And back to our opponent. So Edward's effect, for those that don't know, end of turn, add a card from life to hand. Has the big 6k body. We see him play at the Bartholomew and then attaching a Don and swinging. So 7k is massive for us here. We can either choose to let it go through, or we can use that impact wave here to remove a body as well as save us a life here. So this is what we're going to end up doing. We're going to activate that, taking out the Bartholomew because it is the bigger out of the two there. Alright, back to us here, drawing into the Tashigi, the 2k counter, the only 2k counter that we have access to in this deck. Alright, we're just attaching a Don, making sure we get into that 6k, swinging into the leader. Basically just trying to avoid any kind of removal effects going up against red, something I need to be aware of. When swinging at life, they choose to counter out anyway with the Otama. We'll deploy our vanilla T-Bone. 3 cost 5k body, is susceptible to some removal at this stage. Speaking of removal, there it is. They use the jet pistol to take out our T-Bone, and then they're swinging at us at 6k. We choose to take that. We run into our Marineford, our stage card for black. Helps reduce play cost for this nice little handy effect, which we'll probably see later on. We just attaching Don, swinging in. As I said before, we want to try and protect our characters as much as possible, not playing them and then swinging into life and having them removed by some removal. But here we see the counter out with using the Radical Beam, giving them a nice little buff there. And then we choose to play out the Monkey D. Garp. So Garp's effect is we can rest him, trash a card, and then remove something with a cost of 4 or less. Next up, they bring out the Ace there, and his effect is he's a rush character for 7,000 power, 7 cost, and he can neg 3,000 power to 2 characters on the field. We only have the 1, and then he's swinging in at 7,000. So for us here, it's smart to just take this. We don't want to use too many resources, trying to save some things there. And then we draw into a vanilla off life, Momonga. They're swinging in here, so this is something that we can choose to counter out. Which we do with the Tashigi. So all about that resource management, using little cards as possible to get the desired outcome, especially with a double starter deck, because you don't have a lot of those big counter resources available to it. Alright, we play out our Helmeppo, which reduces something by a cost of 3, and then we use Monkey D. Garp's effect to take out the Ace quite easily, and then we swing in at leader. So you can see a great example of how powerful black's removal can be. Our opponent is choosing to counter out there, so we're getting some good hand thinning going on. So we're either controlling the board with using them to block, or with our removal, or controlling their hand size by getting some constant pressure by swinging in at life. We play out another Garp because our one that's rested is going to be destroyed most likely. They play out the Newgate, which gives the leader a buff for 2k, and they don't take life, and then they take out that Garp. Then it's back to us. So we kind of drew into the perfect hand to take out the Newgate quite easily. So we played the stage card, use its effect to neg 1, and then rest it to neg another play cost to Edward. Then we use the Hina to neg another 4, and then we can take it out with the Garp right there. So quite cool. how we can quite easily remove something quite big there. And then I attach a Don here and forget that Edward has the buff from the other Edward. So a bit of a waste of a Don and an attack there. And then we just play out our Momonga, just trying to get some good board presence going on here, because we're at this stage, the wider our board is the better, because red has access to a lot of removal. They play out Moby Dick, which gives all their Whitebeard pirates a buff when you have a 1 or less life, I believe. And then they play out the Jozu, which is a rush card, which red has a lot of access to as well. Attach a Don if you have 2 or less life against rush, so that's exactly what they do. So they're swinging in. We'll choose to counter that there. All right, and then we don't block here on that one. We're just saving some, make them use more of their resources to try and control our board there. So I go to use the effect of the stage card plus Sakazuki's effect, which is to rest 3 and take out something with a cost of 4 or less, but I choose not to do it because it's a turn too early to take out the chopper. But basically what we're doing now is just loading up all of our characters to get them to that 6k threshold so that we can swing through in at leader, try either get rid of that blocker that way or control the hand size that way as well. So we begin to swing in there, seeing what our opponent chooses to do. So they're choosing to counter, so we're controlling that hand size there, which is quite nice. We will choose to then swing in again for another 6k into leader, seeing if they choose to block or take the life or thin out their hand. Ideally for us, thinning out their hand, which is what they do. Now we want to swing in with leader here, so we have the bigger character to swing into the rested character if they choose to thin their hand again, which is good for us here, because then they have very limited resources to try and save this character there, which they don't as well. Also good for us here. So then we just deploy Among Us. We once again trying to go wide, because red can quite easily remove a few things. Speaking of removal, there's the Vista, the new character card from set 2, which can KO something on play with a 3000 power or less. So it takes out our Helmeppo there. Now stacking up the leader with some Don, going to likely swing into one of our characters here, which they do. There's nothing that we can do to stop that. We have nothing in our hand, no blockers on board, so we just have to take that, which is why important we went wide, so we have a few more swings available to us here. Now this is a great time to use Sakazuki's effect to take out the chopper, so we have one less attack that we need to make in order to win. And now we just kind of load up our characters with Don. Now they do have 3 active Don and 3 cards in hand, which means they may have access to some fairly hefty counters. But what we're going to do here is load up the Momonga and then swing with that. So they're going to have to use most of those resources to stop this attack, and then it leaves us with 2 more attacks to swing in there. So we go in, we swing in at leader, we'll see what they do. And our opponent's GG saying GG. Obviously doesn't have the counters in hand and needed to stop that there. Yep, and there we go. We have the win right there. So there you go. And there's a great example of the Suzuki deck in action. See, this gameplay showed a lot of that removal that black has access to, which is absolutely insane. And then there's a bunch of other shenanigans with things not being able to be KO'd with some of the other character and option effects, which we didn't see too much here in this gameplay here. But if you do want to see more, let us know in the comment section below. But otherwise, stay tuned for a deck profile on this here as well. Super cheap to get, super fun to play, and as you can see, can be quite competitive. But thank you so much for checking out the video today. Stay beautiful, and we'll see you all in the next one.